Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the pyramid. I am Sphinx and we are playing Wurm Online again. We're going to continue our tutorial series by just doing a little bit, working down our journey text a little bit. Last time we created a campfire, made some lumps, and got our basic house up. This time around, it's been a while since I logged on, so as you can see, my tent has degraded away. But I went ahead, I got a campfire started, I mined up a little bit of lumpage here, and we're going to go ahead and work on our anvil. Now, in order to make an anvil, we can always pull up this crafting menu right here by pressing N as a default key, and with our iron lumps, all we need is a mallet and a lump. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll throw a lump here. I have my mallet in my backpack. Boom. And we'll go ahead and we'll start trying to create it here. Now, obviously with a 45% chance, it's not a guarantee, but as you can see, we got it. So we're going to drop this on the ground right here, and we're actually going to place it to make it look a little bit better right here, right next to our door. So, now that we have our small anvil, this gives us, we're going to right click it, add this to the crafting window, and as you can see, this gives us a ton of new options to work with. Now, the one thing I want to start off working with is one weapon item, or one tool that we don't have right now is a chisel blade. And I want to go ahead and I want to make this because if I look up here at my food and water, I am getting desperately thirsty, which affects my overall stamina regeneration. And without stamina regeneration, not only is this game going to be slow, but it's going to be twice as slow. So we'll go ahead, we'll get that fixed here. Let's see here. Alright, we made it here. Now we'll also have to see, I think with our carving knife, we can take our shaft here, and I think it's a handle. We'll go ahead and we'll create our handle here. Obviously, like I said, lower level means multiple failures, but it's really just a time sink, so we'll keep working on this. Because what we're going to make is a fountain. On Guidance, the beginning server, everywhere you put a fountain will be a water source, so we really don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about creating the actual fountain itself. We'll worry about locating water sources in a later date. We'll go ahead, we got our handle, we got our chisel blade, and we're going to keep trying to create this until we make it work. And we can actually just queue up multiple actions until we actually make it. Boom. Chisel acquired. Now, in this little stone pile, I have already acquired a few stone chunks, a couple of stone shards here, and you get these by simply, ooh, there's a goblin right there, we gotta be careful, he might actually destroy us, but we'll go ahead, we'll grab one of these stone shards, which is when you mine a regular rock instead of something like an iron vein. We'll go back, hit N, or I'm sorry, the default will be B for crafting. We'll go ahead, we'll throw our chisel here, we'll throw a stone shard here, and let's see if we can find it. As you can see, we have tons of options here, and I actually do not see it. It's not a statue, it's a fountain. There we go. So this one's going to be a low chance wall fountain here, but let's see if we can actually make it. A minimum? It needs a minimum weight, so let's see if we can actually grab all of these. Double click here, shift click here, combine them all to a super shard. Now let's see if we can actually build it. We're going to queue up multiple actions here because 14% chance is exceedingly low. but we gotta try. Alright, you guys, not gonna lie, we got a little lucky with that. We're gonna go ahead, and like I said, it doesn't really matter for the time being, but we'll go ahead and just kind of place it over here. Make it look nice. Booyah! Alright, and we'll right click here. We're gonna open it, and it is gonna take just a second to fill up, but just to get a basic amount, it shouldn't take too long. In fact, we'll go ahead, we'll throw our lumps back in the fire over here, just to make sure that it stays hot. Alright, so, let's see, we got, we now need to create a sickle blade, and we'll consider this done. But in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, for our campfire to heat back up, we are going to go ahead and go look for some vegetables. So, boys and girls, all we have to do is run out into the wilderness. It could be any which way, but we are keeping our eye out for resource nodes. So I see one right here, right away. We have some nightshade. Now the thing about nightshade is it's a fairly high level. Most of the things in nightshade are going to be pretty high level. We're probably going to have a lot of failed attempts. Yeah, you find something and you can't identify it, so you throw it away. But we'll look at this like this. It's a skill node, alright? It's a skill node. I find something else, throw it away. You find something else and throw it away. Unfortunately, that was a completely unsuccessful. Nightshade is a tricky one there. But here we have a little critter's nest, so we'll get our stamina back, get back to foraging. You found an acorn. While I forage, we found another acorn. Try and peep around, see if we can find another node. And an egg. That is definitely food. Go around here. Wild grasses require an extra step, so we're going to skip that for now. Don't worry about wild grasses at the very beginning. Let's see. Mints. These are extra things. We'll go ahead. We'll try this real quick, actually. We'll forage it. Let's see what we get out of here. As we are looking for vegetables. We got some basil. I'll take that. Some more basil. One's fresh, one is not. One's got a pretty decent quality to it. Relatively decent. When I say decent, it's relatively decent. And some lavender flower. Now watch this actually, you guys. We haven't had to deal with combat, and we'll try not to in a while. But there's this thing in alchemy. It's basically a band-aid. Some things in this game you can combine with others. And a lot of it is experimentation, but I do know that flowers and acorns have the ability to make a healing cover. It's a little bonus, and you'll fail more often than not, especially at these lower levels, but all you have to do is activate things like the lavender flower and the acorn. A lot of these are natural substances. If it comes from nature, most of the time, and it's not directly food, wow. Alright, we made it. So we don't need this right now. We're going to go ahead and put this bad boy in the backpack. Let's keep it in there, alright. So we'll use that for later. Hopefully we don't have to get into combat for a while. But let's keep exploring, you guys. What do we have here? We have some undergrowth. Let's see what we can get in here. I bet there's a vegetable in here. Some vines next to us. We found an entire log in there. That's funny. We could throw that in the fire. We found another log. Found some nettles. I believe this is a herb. And acorn. Nothing quite useful yet. No vegetables yet. So let's take a look in these vines. Maybe it's because my skill is so low that we're not finding vegetables. To be honest, when you're foraging, it would be pretty easy to find a log, huh? Oh, we got a pea pod. Pea pod, guys. We're in. I want to keep looking, though. We got a cucumber. That's a nice cucumber. That's what she said. A pumpkin. Pumpkins are pretty based. And a tomato. That was good. Alright, we'll keep an eye out for vines. Vines seem to be very productive. We have some more mints. Let's skip that for just... You know what? No. We'll look through the mints. Our foraging is level 2 right now. Got some fresh thyme. That's another herb. Am I right with that? Some rosemary. Some sage. And oregano. Man, we got the whole spice rack here, don't we? Now these are herbs. But just like with KFC, we're looking for spices too. And unfortunately for us, we are 100% getting weighed down by these logs. So let's run back to base really quick. Drop these logs off to keep our fire going. We might be able to make something with all this actually. But let me see what we have here. We're going to, anytime you get a vegetable, most of them, if you right click, you have an option to get the seeds out of it. So now we have some peas. I think I can do this. I'll do this with the pumpkin. I think if we crush it, we get some pumpkin seeds, and then let's get some tomatoes as well. Let's get the seeds out of the tomatoes. So now we have peas, pumpkin seeds, and tomatoes. So we're going to do a couple of things here, alright guys? First, we're going to take our pottery bowl. This is how we can make some foods here. And I believe that they count egg as a protein. So what I can do is we could throw this in the pottery bowl. Oh, we had water the whole time. No wonder I was going so slow. Hold on, we'll take this pottery bowl out really quick. We're gonna dump the water out. Alright, we'll put this back here. We'll put our logs in here to keep that fire going. And we'll right click here. Lure. Have you tried adding sugar? It wants me to add sugar to this egg. Let me see if I throw the cucumber. Let me lure it. Does that make a known recipe? Alright, so we'll keep that going for now. We're going to look around and see if we can find some actual food though. But while we're waiting for that, we're going to take this pile of items. We're just going to keep the chisel. All of this we'll throw in here for now. Because what I want to do is we're going to take our next step. This is the one, we're not going to complete this today, but I want to at least start working on it. So we have a relatively flat area, I believe, here. So we have this here. I wonder if I could stand on this and level it. Now this should be flat. So what we can do is start flattening this out of here. We can level it. This will work on our digging skill. As we get the dirt, we'll want to drop it on the ground as a pile, not on the ground, because that'll put it right back into the earth, and we don't want that. And now that we have the pile, we can just casually keep. We'll have to drop as a pile. Now it's a big pile. We can just start adding to that pile right there. All right, we have a flat tile here. Let's see if we can level this here. Anytime you level, by the way, stand on this flat tile will level to this tile. So this is flat. Drop this here. And then let's see, look at this. Let's level this one too. This one might take a minute, but that's okay. As we dig it, we can just keep placing it in this dirt pile here. Booyah. Flat, flat, flat. So the last step we need to do before we can start gardening is we can cultivate this, because this is packed dirt. This is useful for walking around, but when you want to garden, you need the soil loosened up. So all we need to do here is activate our rake, or actually, you don't even need the rake right now. All we have to do is right-click, activate the seed, right-click a dirt tile, and click sow. As long as it's relatively flat, you'll be able to do this. So we got that down. That was our tomatoes. Let's sow our seeds here. We've just updated our journal. Alright, the next step will take a while. This will take the longest one just because of the time investments. But so we have pumpkins, peas, and tomatoes down. And we officially have our garden. Perfect. And while we were doing this, our lumps are probably ready to go. So, we still have a little bit of a shaft. Let's go ahead and grab... Yeah, nothing's cooking in there yet. We'll go ahead and grab our lumps. We're going to fuse them together just for the sake of convenience. We're going to add this to our crafting window. And we're going to look for sickle. It's not going to be a construction menu material. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be jewelry. It's not going to be a lock. It'll be a tool part. Let's see if we can find it here. Trowel, scissors. I don't see it here, so it must be in our large. We're going to add this to the crafting menu. We're going to go scroll down. And there's our sickle blade. Low chance, but we can make it. So let's go ahead, start working on this. This will take a few attempts, so go ahead and just queue up a few actions. Boom. I surprisingly got that relatively quick. So we can cancel this. Let's see, we'll try using our shaft here. We don't get the option to create. Nope, so we'll have to take, I'll do my control 5 for our carving knife. Let's create another handle. Sickle blade, need the handle. Perfect. Activate, create, sickle. And like I said, with that low percentage, it's not a bad idea just to queue up a few actions. You could 100% throw this in. Boom! But we got it. We were really lucky. We have the sickle. So, we're going to unlock our toolbar. Now, I am a sickle enjoyer, and so I'm actually going to put this really high up. Boom. And don't forget to relock. Now, boom. we can go and claim our reward whenever we like. That is mission complete. I mean, you might be asking, what's a sickle for? Well, my favorite thing to use it for is to actually help reforest the world. You see, there's something you can come and do with these trees, and you have an option when your sickle is activated to pick sprout. At lower levels, you can't detect if a tree has a sprout or not, but if you come up and just spam click F if you have your sickle activated, you'll go ahead and harvest. Boom, like that. Now I'm actually going to go around. We're going to collect a few. Let's see if we can find any good trees around here. I avoid all apple trees. As you can see, not everyone's going to have a sprout, but you can just walk around, hit F, and you can keep moving. As long as you stay on the same tile, you will be okay. See, that one's going to have one. We have a maple tree up here. Let's see if we can propagate this. As you can see, with our low level, it's definitely going to cause, wow, a 44 quality. Crazy. You can queue up a few actions, and we're starting to get skills already. This is going to help with our nature. And I'm pretty sure, as long as it has a sprout, you will get the sprout. As long as it has a sprout, you will get the sprout. Now, the challenge comes from planting it, which I believe is gardening. It uses nature and gardening. Let's see here. Like I said, not everyone is guaranteed to have a sprout, but when you do pick a sprout off, it does drop its growing stage down 1. That's why you see it getting smaller. So, let's see. This is an overaged, no sprout. No sprout. There's a sprout here, so let's examine it. It's an old, very old birch, so I believe if we pick this sprout, it'll go from very old to old. You see it got slightly smaller there. That's still very old, but there's similar, there's stages. There's multiple stages, so there's like multiple stages of over very old, multiple stages of old. But, as you can see, we got a couple here. So, we can start doing our due diligence. And coming up here, we can see that there's a savanna spreading. But, we could try and do our part here. Let's cultivate this. Let's try and replant some of the wood that we've harvested already. So we are low level, so I'm gonna use our lowest sprout. You'll activate it, right click a tile, and plant naturally. And sometimes you can queue a few up, because especially with the quality and the damage on these and my level, I'm expecting most of these to actually not plant. During these low levels, it's actually pretty brutal at how low the success rate can be. But that is why it's important that we do this now. Birches are one of the fastest spreading trees, the fastest spreading lumber trees. And, alright, so we'll try, see now that we have a higher quality one, let's see if we get any better luck here. Because even if you fail, you'll still get experience points. There we go. And as you can see, it also made it a grass tile as well. So now we have a baby birch. We can go over here, and we can keep trying to plant these to help spread it. There we go. Got another one successful. And one thing I actually like to do is to just straight up replace these stumps. You can just sit here and destroy it, but that takes 30 seconds. If you just come over here and plant it, if you successfully plant it, this stump will actually disappear in exchange for the sprout. But we see we failed there. But anyway, you guys, we got the anvil, we got the large anvil, we got the sickle, we've foraged a little bit, we got the campfire going, we've sprouted, and we've replanted. So I'll consider that successful for this round, you guys. Next time we come back, I'm not quite sure what we'll do, but we'll go ahead. I'll probably just finish this roof off stream or something. But anyway, guys, I'll catch y'all next time.